want to talk a little bit about factory default settings. This is my understanding of how humans work. You know that cell phone that you got, that smartphone, when you bought it at the store, it was working perfectly. And then you downloaded some apps and it started working a little bit slow. And you downloaded some more apps. And before you know it, you couldn't even make a phone call with the thing. And it started to minimize the cookies. And you tried to uninstall stuff. You tried to reinstall stuff. And nothing seemed to be working. And you took it to the store and you went to the Verizon store, and the kid behind the counter looked like he was about 13 years old, and he was going to fix your phone. And as you're telling him all these things that you've tried, all these different things that you had planned on doing, you became more and more convinced there's no chance this guy is fixing your phone. In the middle of your rant, he hands you the phone back and says it's working perfectly now. And to your surprise, you take the phone back and you look at it and you start messing with it, and it's working exactly the way it was supposed to. And you ask him out of curiosity, well, what'd you do? What did I do wrong? What did you do different than me? He said, well, I went into settings and I hit the factory default setting button. And I set it back to how the factory told it was supposed to work. What if I would tell you that we have factory default settings? And they're available to us all the time. We just have downloaded so much stuff, so many beliefs, so many thoughts, so many ideas about ourselves. It just kind of gets in the way of how we're supposed to work. If you think about it this way, a newborn doesn't need a counselor. They don't need a therapist. They don't judge themselves very harshly. They're not all caught up in problems. We were all babies at one point. We all have factory default settings. We all have perfect psychological well-being available to us all the time without exception. That's just how we were built. It's just over time, we've downloaded all these ideas. We have these thoughts, these beliefs about self. These are just thoughts. They're not all that important, nor do they make a lot of sense to hold on to. Just underneath the chaos of our thinking, underneath our perception of our situation, we all have factory default settings. In our factory default setting, we are kind, courteous, compassionate. We are curious. We are wise, without fault. You know, we think of the opposite of fear as bravery. I think the opposite of fear is curiosity. Because even when a baby becomes fearful of something, it's often because they don't understand it. They don't know what's going on around them. When we become fearful of something, we avoid it. Maybe more curiosity and less fear might be an easier way to navigate life. So sometimes we've downloaded all these crazy things, these things we've told ourselves, these stories, but they have very little to do with who and what we are and how we live, how we experience life. So that's kind of an explanation of these factory default settings and how they work.